Hey guys, well, I want to show you two cool things that came into the shop today. A Wilkinson Dudley anvil and a Armitage mouse hole anvil. These anvils are in the older category, around the 1850s, and these are quite cool pieces. They were brought in to be repaired. Now, normally I do not touch an Armitage or a Wilkinson Dudley at this end. But the gentleman is quite insistent, put a lot of money in front of me, and they are his anvils after all. If they're mine, I'd leave them alone, but one of them things. However, that is not the discussion for today. I wanted to address a few questions I had seen coming through Blacksmithing for Beginners. A lot of times the guys will find an anvil and it will have some damage on it. And the question that comes through is, when is damage too much? And this is an excellent demonstration here. You know, when you're going to be buying an anvil, especially now with Forged in Fire, all that kind of good stuff, and anvil prices going right up to the roof. You know, where used to you get an anvil for $2, now it's $3, $4, $5. You know, a lot of these older anvils, the prices are approaching new anvil prices, so it's pretty staggering. But if you do get a chance to find an anvil, whether it be a wrought iron or a cast iron or a steel base, if it's actually been used, especially if it's been on a farm, expect it to have some damage from abuse. And I have two really good examples here of the abuse and two great examples of a buy and a no buy. So let me show you the mouse hole here, and let's see if I can get the camera up a little bit right here. Let me see if I can adjust just a little bit. Okay, all right. So you can see that the edge of this has some chipping. There's a steel plate that's here that's been welded to the wrought iron base. And you can see this has been broken off and chipped for a long time. The rust has come back over. The other side's not quite as bad. Actually, this is in pretty reasonable shape. But if you kind of look down the barrel here, you can see that there's quite a bit of material missing. For a beginner, this is an absolute buy. You're going to find most of the anvils, kind of your barnyard anvils, in this condition. And for a beginner, you better buy it. That type of damage can pretty much be easily repaired. And you know, unless you're starting to get into some real ticky work, doing hardware and doing a lot of it, this is not going to affect you. What you have here, you have a solid chunk of steel that's going to provide you with plenty of mass to work on. So this is an absolute buy. However, let's take a look at door number 2, and this is the Wilkinson Dudley anvil. And if you look at this girl, you can see all this chunk right here. That is actually where somebody attempted to repair this doing some horrible welding. You can see down here to the side just how much is missing out of here. Even what remains of the top plate here is damaged. I mean, there's some okay damage here, but you can see a split running all the way over this way. But there is, you know, about 1.5 inches of hammerable surface right here, and it's not even flat. It's concave and shaped. This is a pass. This anvil has so much damage on here, it's going to require a couple pounds of material to put back right. I mean, this is a heavily damaged anvil to the point that buying this to actually use for a beginner is absolutely a no-go. Now, of course, there's going to be, you know, halfway points. No anvil is going to be the same. If you ever have any questions, you always rely on experience. If you have somebody that you know that's a professional smith, send them a photo and a picture. But in general, those represent two really good examples of a buy and a no buy. Now, for somebody like me as a professional, I need another anvil like I need a hole in the head. But if I have the extra cash and there's an anvil there, I'm going to get it because it's my thing. But for the beginner, if you've got limited funds and you're lucky enough to even find an anvil, even then there is a time when you should not buy. Basically, the repairs on these anvils are going to be a couple $100 simply because of the time and to do the repair appropriately. So, by the time you finish paying $400 for a damaged anvil, a $200 repair, you're approaching new anvil prices. And I love old anvils, I love old tools, but remember, no matter how you cut it, used ain't new. So you guys, when you're out there looking for those anvils, you know, you need to make a good decision because, you know, your money's limited, your time is limited, and you want to get the most bang for your buck. So, yeah, yay rah. There's your answer. Guys, thank you for tuning in. Holler at you later.